how important a change in perspective can be. And actually I will use some very personal examples for you in order to visualize what I mean. And I hope some of you are inspired by what I'm sharing now. And I will explain you how that can be applied to your career, to your personal growth and your mindset. So let's draw this two-dimension, this brick, let's say. On purpose, put on the bottom, family. On the side, I put my job, or let's say career. On the other side, I say location. And on the top, let's say qualification. At least in my case, it looks like that's a locked relationship. Let's make an example. So over the last years, I have been extremely dissatisfied that my career didn't move further, despite that I developed heavily, and I think I'm still doing a very, very good job and I can do more. And actually I should look at myself and not at the company or whatever, or somebody else, why I'm stuck, let's say. If I want to move my job up in that direction, then also the location moves. But maybe I said, I want to have a locked location. I don't want to move anymore because I've moved too often. So let's say not moving, I lock myself here, so I cannot really widen the box. I come to that later, how you can still grow. And it's maybe friends, hobbies which are locked or tied to my location where I really want to stay. And I said, if I move my career forward, and usually you need to change locations or move abroad or whatever, then I may lose up on this one. Same as on qualification. I have done more than 10 years on-the-job training to get more and more qualified, and I'm recently thinking also, over the last years, I've been thinking doing a PhD, but I may not do it, because if I lift up qualification, I sort of struggle with the family part, and I put family, let's say, on purpose on the bottom, because if that falls apart, then this guy, which is me, falls out of this this building, let's say, right? And then that's tears. It will be an unhappy Martin, let's say, unhappy me. So that's for me the foundation, and you need to, let's say, find out what is your foundation. If you still want to grow, you want to grow yourself, and again, it's not about career or job title or whatever, but you learn and grow and develop ourselves, learn new skills, meet new people and get new opportunities, etc. How can we, let's say, do that without, let's say, being stuck here or giving up on the one or the other element? And that's sort of where I, let's say, want to draw a new picture and bring in multiple dimensions. So we have much more volume, and that's still us, or that's still me in that example now. And these four areas, they are still the same. Yeah, it's location, it's family, it's, let's say, job, and this is qualification. But I started actually looking at what else should define who I am, how I am, and how I look at the world. Some of the elements which I'm writing down now, they may have been always there, but maybe over the last months and years I forgot about them, I took them for granted, or I actually forgot developing them further because I forgot how much fun that actually makes. And in my case, there's one thing which I always loved about being in a leadership position. This is, let's put it here, this is training, coaching, developing, let's say, others. Somebody in the team also coming back to me and sort of giving me a compliment on some recent things we did together, or an ex-employee approaching me to asking me for some advice and some insights on supply chain management, etc. And then you get some very positive feedback, and that's something which makes, yeah, puts a big smile on my face. Another thing, what you have seen maybe following me on LinkedIn, is writing, becoming an author. Next to this writing, the book, actually, it's about how to do the book settings, how to do a cover, how to do marketing for the book. So that's broadening my perspective and maybe giving me new opportunities. The other thing is, let's put it here, YT YouTube. I have a hobby, quite an expensive hobby, and I did 2 years, 2.5, almost 3 years ago, a YouTube channel on that. And currently the YouTube channel actually has, it's not too many, but 3,000 subscribers, and also the revenue I get from that channel actually is completely covering all the costs I have with this hobby. So this is a very, very nice development, and also there I'm learning a lot of skills, how to make videos and how to interact with other people. I'm invited to trade fairs and whatever. And recently also I did one video on a DIY tool for the aquarium tank, for the fish tank, let's say, which another company is currently making something professional out of it, and I get some benefits out of that, let's say, so kind of a small passive income. So again, doing something, really doing it, trying yourself. If you're getting better and better usually in it, then new opportunities arise. Something else really important for me, reading books. I hardly finish some books, but I always start reading many new books to get new perspectives and insights. That's very important. Another element is, let's call it mindfulness. Mindfulness, this can be meditation and whatever reflection techniques in order to find new perspectives. When we talk about perspectives, something really important, and I think some are proud to be workaholics, and I have been like that also in the past, but taking breaks. And why are breaks important? Because when you take breaks, you change your perspective. And again, I'm repeating perspectives a lot, but it's all about perspectives in the end. So taking a break, you change your perspective, you look at things from a very new angle, and you come back with solutions to problems you may have never found otherwise. Another one, which I can add on my personal list here for you, is investments. Investments and let's say macroeconomics. That's something where I focus on the whole of 2020, and I made a couple of extra salaries with these investment strategies. And with the macroeconomics, actually I know or I learn where to invest in, or I actually can better understand what politicians do well or don't do well, and what I can do in order to use the current environment to make some or create some opportunities for myself and family. Last but not least, the very last line I didn't write something on, which is also important to me, is networking. Networking, startup support, and let's call it also, again, coaching, but coaching startups. That's also another perspective where I joined more than a year ago the startup network here at the Lake of Constance and in the DACH area. And this gives me really access to great people, great minds, motivates me all the time to speak to these youngsters and also very experienced people who have founded companies in the past, etc. And it gives you something back, sort of, if you can give tips and advice to startups and you see them actually doing better after talking to you. And in the end, I really believe if you're working on these perspectives, if you name them for yourselves, and I guess most of you have on every line something, and maybe you're missing the one or the other, then find out what you want to do in order to grow yourself, in order to change your perspective and not being just stuck to your current job, being stuck to what you have learned in your qualification. But also, you don't need to go to school or university to learn and get better. You can watch YouTube videos, you can do networking, you can ask for other assignments in your company to do projects and read books or whatsoever. Just do it. It's really, really, really important. Do it, otherwise you will not move anywhere. But sort of when I changed from this two-dimensional, let's say from this two-dimensional area, when I changed my perspective to all the dimensions, and when I realized what I'm already doing or what I've added and where I'm getting stronger in some areas, then it completely changed from being dissatisfied with the status quo to being actually extremely happy. And since I've done that, I think I have been even better at my job because this dissatisfaction disappeared, and also just many more opportunities arise. And in the end, life is all about opportunities, yeah. And if you're working on many elements, of course, you don't need to be all over the place. You need to find a balance, and you need to make time for these things and cut out things which are not useful, like watching television or whatsoever, or hanging around with people who are very negative and have a very bad view on the world. If you get rid of these, you win a lot of time to work on this, and then you will create opportunities. You will have long-term satisfaction and growth. You will grow your personal capacity, your mindset will improve, and you will be much more happy. I hope you like what I have shared with you, and I hope you can take something away. Thanks for watching, and please put some comments on how you like that concept. Again, I have not read this in any book. It really came into my mind during some of these mindfulness meditation techniques, because I wanted to share with some people why I actually, even 2020 is for many people a very bad year, why for me it actually has been a game changer on these elements and on my happiness, because I just changed my perspectives.